AlphaTauri have just unveiled their new 2021 Challenger, and their target for the season is top of the midfield. But can they achieve this? Will AlphaTauri get rid of their junior team status? Can AlphaTauri manage to transform their team and fight at the top and get rid of the number 2 team status? Well, let's analyze everything and let's see if it's possible or not. In Mugello, Christian Horner said that AlphaTauri is, quote, now a sister team rather than a junior team, end quote. And this is already pointing in the right direction. Mateschitz purchased the Minardi team and rebranded it to Toro Rosso ahead of the 2006 season to create a school for promising drivers from their Red Bull junior team to prove they had what it takes to drive the senior Red Bull squad. Because of Toro Rosso, of this junior team, talented drivers like Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Daniel Ricciardo managed to get to the top to win races and even championships. The program clearly works. But in 2019 and 2020, AlphaTauri have started to improve and fight closer to the top than ever before. In 2019, they managed to get their first podium since Vettel's 2008 win. Another podium in Brazil. And the rebrand as AlphaTauri for the 2020 season was a move away from Toro Rosso. Christian Horner said, obviously AlphaTauri is a rebranded team for this year. Their ambitions and aspirations are beyond where Toro Rosso's were, end quote. And in 2020, they even managed to win a race in Monza, right where they had their first win and podium in 2008. Just as Horner said, AlphaTauri is moving further and further away from Red Bull and from the status as simply a junior team. But they can't distance themselves too much. They can't break their links with Red Bull completely. They share some parts with the main team. Red Bull still has control over the drivers of AlphaTauri. They can't be 100% independent. But that's not the question we're here to answer. We don't want to know if the team can be independent or not. Because they can't, we're here to see if they can distance themselves from the number 2 team status and fight at the top, fight even with the Red Bulls, and not be controlled on track by the main team. Yes, I think that this is possible. But before we talk about that, I want to take a second and say that I have a lot more Formula 1 content about the 2021 season and a lot of new projects planned for the future, so make sure to subscribe so you won't miss a thing. Thank you. Franz Tost, the team principal, said, in 2020, Scuderia AlphaTauri was a midfield team. We were fighting successfully against the other teams like McLaren, Renault, and Racing Point, but our target for this year is to consistently be at the top of the midfield and to improve further, end quote. We've already seen the AlphaTauri of Gasly out-qualifying the Red Bull of Albon in 2020. We've seen them close together, fighting on track. We've seen the AlphaTauri overtake a Red Bull and push through the midfield. They have already started to get rid of the number 2 team status, but they have to do one very important and hard thing in order to completely get rid of their status. They need to be quicker, and they need to be more reliable. That's exactly what Franz Tost said. To achieve this, we have to avoid reliability issues and finish all races in the points. This can only happen if we do not make any mistakes, so we have to be 100% concentrated on our job, race after race, on and off track, because our competitors are hard to fight. We will do our best to provide a good show for all the Formula 1 fans, who I hope to see back on track, filling the grandstands soon, end quote. Why do you think the AlphaTauri of Gasly was able to fight with Albon's Red Bull? Because the AlphaTauri was faster, on track, in that moment. If AlphaTauri manages to improve, to move closer to the top of the midfield, to fight with the likes of McLaren and Aston Martin, if they can move from the back of the midfield to the front of the midfield, then I think they will be seen by many as their own team, as a team that a lot of others should be afraid of, and not just a junior team. Picture this. If an AlphaTauri is at the back of the field, in 12th or even 15th, and is encountering a Red Bull, because the Red Bull had a puncture or a front wing change or whatever, and had to drop to the bottom of the field. You can imagine that the slow AlphaTauri will move over in an instant and let the Red Bull pass, because it's just a number 2 team and they're not even in the points, right? Right. But imagine if AlphaTauri is right there, right at the top, 5th, 6th, and it encounters the Red Bull, I do not think that the AlphaTauri will move over as quickly, or at all. They will fight for their own podiums, for their own points, achievements, and recognition. An AlphaTauri in 15th will always be seen as a number 2 team, as a junior team, but an AlphaTauri in 5th place will be seen as a normal team, a team that can go wheel to wheel with even the greatest teams on the grid, even with Red Bull. That's what they need in order to distance themselves from the junior team status. But how? How can they jump the whole field? Can they be at the top of the midfield, just like they want in 2021? Yes, there is a solution on the table that's cheap, quick, simple, and easy. A method to jump the whole field in less than a year. A good engine. If Honda manages to improve, if they manage to make the best engine on the grid, then AlphaTauri will jump a few teams, Renault and maybe even Ferrari. The engine is the solution. Honda will have their last year in Formula 1 in 2021, and I do not think they will go out without a fight. They are very proud of their engine, of their tradition, of their achievements. They love to win, they love to be on the podium, and they're not going to abandon this year. They're going to produce the best engine they can possibly achieve, and the engine is super quick. I do believe that AlphaTauri can move closer to the top and even be recognized as a more independent team, not just a sister team like Christian Horner said. And let's not forget about the drivers, because we've only talked about the cars, but they can't drive themselves. AlphaTauri has 2 great drivers, Gasly with a lot of experience in that team, in that car, and Yuki Tsunoda, who was stellar in Formula 2 and is probably the future of Red Bull, a future star, and the best Red Bull Junior in my opinion. Can they push that car to the limit, not make mistakes, and score as many points as possible? Yes, I do think that those 2 will work great together, will be very competitive, and I do think that the 2 drivers are perfect for AlphaTauri. Youth, talent, experience, and with the right car they can achieve what they want, to fight at the top. But what do I think? Do I think that this is possible? Yes, of course. They have already moved as far away as possible from their old reputation. Toro Rosso was clearly a junior team, but AlphaTauri looks different than the Red Bull. Has a lot of new aero parts, a different aero philosophy, and while they can't be fully independent, I do think they can erase the number 2 team status and they can fight at the top just like they want. Don't forget to check out my social media accounts, my Instagram and Twitter, where I post a lot of games, quizzes, photos, news, and a lot more stuff just for you guys.